Do you know that Max Verstappen had the first taste of a Formula One car at an age when he didn't even have a driving license? He achieved many things in Formula One beyond his age. He has one world title, 28 wins, 70 podiums, and 154 race starts to his name at the young age of 24. He is a unique figure with a unique driving style as a driver. He brought some changes to the sport. So, what are the changes that he brought? Hey guys, welcome back to the Max Verstappen Formula One channel, the best place for your daily dose of trending news and updates regarding Formula One. Before we proceed, hit the subscribe button and smash the notification bell for more exciting updates. Max Verstappen is in record books as the youngest driver to compete in the Formula One Championship at the age of 17 years and 166 days old. He got a direct promotion from the Formula 3 category to Formula One with his stellar performances in the junior category. Verstappen got the taste of a Formula One car for the first time back in 2014 when he drove the first practice session of the Japanese Grand Prix, setting up the 12th fastest time in the standings. He was just 16 years old. He debuted for Toro Rosso at the 2015 Australian Grand Prix, replacing Jean-Eric Vergene, and he partnered with another young talent, Carlos Sainz. He spent the entire 2015 season with the Italian racing team, Toro Rosso, before getting a sudden promotion to the senior Red Bull team, replacing Daniil Kvyat after just 4 races of the 2016 season. Some were worried about giving direct opportunity in Formula One to a young, inexperienced driver like Verstappen without promoting another Red Bull Junior from the Formula 2 category. Verstappen obtained his super license very cleanly by completing 300 kilometers in a free practice session. With some heated arguments between different parties and the Formula One governing body regarding the involvement of inexperienced drivers like Verstappen in a high life risk sport like Formula One, finally, FIA decided to adjust the minimum age requirement to compete in the premium category of motorsport. On December 3, 2014, the case was closed and the FIA decided to establish a minimum age to be able to benefit from the precious sesame. From now on, drivers must be 18 years old and hold a driving license. But the new regulation came into force in 2016 when he was spending his second season in Formula One, so his record will remain unbroken forever unless a change of the minimum age requirement happens. After debuting with Toro Rosso in 2015, he also broke the record of youngest point scorer of Formula One's history in his second race in Malaysia. He finished the race in P7, dropping just one position behind his qualifying results. But he was able to finish the race ahead of his teammate Carlos Sainz and both the Red Bull senior drivers Daniil Ricciardo and Daniil Kvyat. When he achieved that feat, he was just 17 years and 180 days old. The funniest thing is that he was not allowed to drive the car on the road as age was not sufficient, and came in the passenger seat until he arrived in the circuit, and then drove one of the fastest cars on the planet to podium finishes. Even after a podium finish, he was not allowed to celebrate it with champagne as he was younger than the allowed age limit to drink it. But he had to wait another year to record his first win during the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix, and that was also his debut race with Red Bull after getting a promotion from Toro Rosso. The race was started with 2 silver arrows of Hamilton and Rosberg in front, but when they took each other out of the race after a heavy collision, it opened the chance for both Red Bull drivers to take the lead behind the safety car. But the Ferrari of Sebastian Vettel joined the battle too. Ricciardo pitted first and Verstappen got the lead of the race, becoming the first Dutch driver to lead a Formula One race in history. After a tough battle with the Iceman, Kimi Raikkonen in the final stages of the race, Verstappen was able to win the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix. Finally, he became the youngest competitor, the youngest point scorer, and the youngest race winner in Formula One history. Except for the race winner record, other 2 records are unbreakable ones under current regulations. Did he become the youngest champion after winning the 2021 driver's title? No, he wasn't able to achieve that feat, and he is 4th in the list behind Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton, and Fernando Alonso. At the end of last year's championship battle, he was able to not only secure the driver's title, but also the record for the most number of podium finishes in a single season. Last year's race calendar had 22 races, and in 18 occasions out of these 22, the reigning world champion was able to record podium finishes. He broke the record of Michael Schumacher, initially set back in 2002, recording 17 podiums out of 17 races held in that year. This was equalled by Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton by winning 17 races. But Verstappen is the first one to break this 20-year-old record. However, in terms of podium percentage, Schumacher's record is still safer with a 100% hit rate, while Verstappen translates to 81.8%. Another rule was introduced due to Verstappen's aggressive driving style. On several occasions in 2016, in Hungary and then in Belgium, the Dutchman had Iceman Kimi Räikkönen unpin after very aggressive defences on the track. At the next United States Grand Prix, the FIA introduced a new rule with the aim of controlling the actions of Verstappen. So, drivers had an outright ban on changing direction during braking phases. But the decision was not unanimous. Since the start of my career, the rule has always been the same. It's only the new ones who arrived and who didn't follow her, Hamilton said after the introduction of a new rule in 2016. Unfortunately, Verstappen was not the first one to pay the price for breaking the rule. During the 2016 Mexican Grand Prix, four-time world champion Sebastian Vettel was penalised for a defence considered too muscular. After weeks of arguments between the drivers and the governing body, the rule was finally amended to give more freedom to the drivers. From 2017 in Melbourne, each action was once again judged on a case-by-case basis. Then, this rule, which was introduced to control the actions of Verstappen, was changed as follows. A driver will only be under investigation if they move erratically or endanger another driver. The governing body of Formula One, the FIA, has informed all the Formula One drivers that getting alongside another car ahead of a safety car restart, as Max Verstappen has used in 3 consecutive races, will no longer be permitted. During the final race of 2021 in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and the first 2 rounds of the 2022 season as well, the Dutchman drew alongside the lead car prior to the race restart. Verstappen did it on the right-hand side of Hamilton's Silver Arrow ahead of their final lap race restart, and even briefly overtook him, which formed part of the Mercedes protest against the controversial final race incident that resulted to loss of the driver's title to Mercedes. He did the same thing in this year's Bahrain and Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, where he positioned his car next to Charles Leclerc's Ferrari ahead of the safety car restart to take the same advantage. In Bahrain, the Dutchman made the move on the inside of the run to the final corner, which actually compromised his own exit and left Leclerc in the clear. But in Saudi Arabia, he avoided the mistake in the previous occasion and went to the outside of the Ferrari driver, leading into the final hairpin of the track. But the Monegasque driver, Charles Leclerc, was able to hold the lead at the restart despite of Verstappen's tactic. During the Australian Grand Prix, FIA race director Niels Wittich issued an updated version of the rule regarding the safety car restarts as follows. In order to avoid the likelihood of accidents before the safety car returns to the pits, from the point at which the lights on the car are turned out, drivers must proceed at a pace which involves no erratic acceleration or braking, nor any manoeuvre which is likely to endanger other drivers or impede the restart. In this way, Verstappen broke many records even during his entry into Formula One, and later he became a reason to change some race rules because of his aggressive driving style. He is still 24 years old and has a lot to go in Formula One. He has been rated similar to Ayrton Senna by Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko, and Verstappen has already proved that Marko's statement is not wrong with his stellar performances and unique driving style. He has already won a championship and is now leading this year's championship, as well, with a huge lead over the driver behind. We can expect many things from this young Dutch talent in the future as well. Do you think that Max will be able to break the championship record of Hamilton in the future? Comment your ideas below. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel to not miss anything related to Formula One. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye!